Hi, this is Candy Brown, your Pull No Punches accountability powerhouse. And I started this morning off like any other day. And when I opened my email, I actually had a email from something that connects back to my past that caught me a little off guard. And what was interesting is usually that would have probably put me in the fetal position and stirred up a lot of old wounding and a lot of things that felt unsettled, and I may have gotten angry. I may have found myself really reacting to it. And what was interesting is I felt this really incredible peace instead. And so it was interesting as I thought about, I've really kind of gone through some of the wounding and the healing. And while this person's really trying to shut me down, some of the message was really around the stories from my childhood. And for those of you that, I don't talk about it a lot, but I had a very difficult relationship with my dad. It was extremely abusive, particularly emotionally and mentally, but also at times physically abusive. And so I really struggled with my sense of self-worth. I struggled with who I was inside that space. And there was even times where, I kind of antagonized the situation, thinking that maybe I deserved the treatment that he offered and put out there. And so I've done, this incredible work over the years, and it's part of why I really stand in this space to help you say yes to yourself and destroy the noise, because I know what that's like, right? I mean, I had a lot of that negativity. I had a lot of that abusive framework around me, that belief system, those stories, that fear that kept getting handed down as a generational legacy. And for those of you that saw my Facebook Live last week, stuff's really getting real, and it's kind of opening wide open, and I'm being asked to step into it bigger. And so I look at the opportunity that this email that I got, this message this morning, was confirmation that rather than let it shut me down, it actually makes me really hungry to go bigger. It makes me hungry to actually tell the story in a more purposeful and deliberate way. And so, it's interesting how we have these choices that show up, right? We have a choice when something shows up that really is a data point. Anything that's said to you, anything that's done, any kind of action is a data point. You get to choose how you want to react to it. And so it was really soul lifting for me to realize that I had a choice. I have a choice to offer peace to this person, first of all, to accept the apology I will never receive. First of all, my dad passed 6.5 years ago, and the people that are connected to this in this space, I'm not going to get that apology, but to accept that apology so that I can stand in a place to do the work that I need to do and be purposeful and soulful and mindful and connect to others who need to understand the strategies on how to destroy the noise. I look at this email as a gift this morning because it really got me hungry. It got me really hungry to tell the story more. And so one of the things that you're going to start to see, both from my personal stories as well as my corporate stories, which ironically, the two are very connected. A lot of the things that showed up for me in my 20 years in corporate really were an extension of the cycles of abuse that I, had stepped into and sort of had from the get-go. And so I just kept stepping into spaces where I kind of allowed myself to be the human punching bag, or I allowed myself to really get the crap kicked out of me from time to time, and just didn't have a handle on who I was inside that space, what my personal brand is, how to say yes to myself, and what my voice and my power was when I stood in the gifts that were given to me. And so it's interesting how I get to look back now and reflect on all the stuff that would seem like crap, right? It would seem like the trials and tribulation and the things that most people, don't want to step into, myself included, right? It's that vulnerability that sometimes it's the story you don't want to share. And what I get to realize every day is that story is a gift. All of those challenges, all of that abuse, that relationship that I experienced with my dad, those continuous cycles that I chose and brought to myself, both personally and professionally, all of those things that showed up, all of those things that tried to knock me down, really were a gift. They were one of my biggest blessings, because through that, I got to identify who I was. Through that, I got to see the power and the gift of the work I get to do to serve you and help you make those same kind of shifts and really create that healing around the wounds that in some cases are generational legacies that have been handed down, right? They're that lineage, the hurting and the wounding and the pain and the fear that keeps coming down from your lineage. And so I get to do this because I was given those opportunities to experience it. I understand what it's like to be in the throes of it. I understand what it's like to try and get people shutting you down, people that get afraid when you start to tell your version of the truth, and it really becomes a limiting, confining, controlling space. I know what it's like to break free from that. I know what it's like to create that personal peace. I know what it's like to step forward and allow your voice to be as strong as it can be, and to sing the song that was given to you, that is all yours and yours to sing. And so I'm learning every day how to stand in that song and sing it loudly and proudly. And so I'm going to invite you to do the same. And I invite you that if you're finding yourself struggling with some of those old stories, some of those old patterns, some of that wounding that, by the way, is going to keep showing up. That's the journey, right? I'm never going to be completely done with the things that were attached to my dad. I'm never going to be completely done with the trials and tribulations, because that's part of my path. Now, I don't have attachment to it anymore, but when it shows up, it's an opportunity for me to go to a deeper level of my own healing. And so you have those same opportunities. But sometimes we need help, right? So I invite you, if you are struggling, if you are finding it difficult because some of those old wounds keep surfacing, if you're finding the fact that you don't know who you are, you have forgotten your what, why, and who, and you don't know how you want to show up in this world, you've lost the sight of how you want to be a leader, how you want to serve, how you want to show up, then give me a call. Send me a message. I'm here to help you. I invite you to reach out, whether it's me or somebody else. I invite you to enlist those people that are going to continue to lift you up, that are going to continue to help you break down these patterns and help you give yourself permission to say yes to yourself, to stand in your own empowerment, and to stand in your voice and your power so that you can be the gift that God intended you to be. With that, this is Candy. I truly hope that every day, just like me, every day you're stepping into another layer of how to say yes to yourself. I hope you're learning strategies on how to destroy the noise. If you need help, ask. I'm here. I want to serve you. And I hope you truly are realizing that leadership is a choice. And it's about how you choose to show up, how you choose to serve others, and how you choose to take personal responsibility for all of your decisions, thoughts, actions, and beliefs inside that space. With that, I'll catch up with you soon. Make it a phenomenal day. I love you. I'm always here. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.